Welcome back to the deep dive.
Yeah.
This time we're looking at IELTS writing skills.
Oh, interesting.
It might sound a little dry at first, but trust me, we'll unearth some gems.
A lot of people think writing well is just for like novelists or journalists.
Right.
But the truth is, strong writing skills are vital for almost everyone.
Yeah, I agree.
Think about it. In school, at work, even just emailing a friend,
Yeah,
it all comes down to writing.
absolutely. Before we dive into the IELTS specifics, maybe we could define it for those who are new to this.
Yeah, good point.
What is it?
The IELTS, or International English Language Testing System, is a test that measures your ability to use and understand English.
Okay.
It's often required for people who want to study or work in a country where English is the main language.
So for our listener prepping for the IELTS, we've got their deep dive request about the writing section.
Okay.
It's split into two main tasks,
Yeah.
right?
Task 1 depends on whether you're taking the academic or general training, IELTS. Academic folks will be summarizing visual information like charts or graphs,
Huh?
while those taking the general training version will be writing a letter.
So two different paths right away.
Yeah.
In your experience, which one trips people up more?
It really varies, but I will say for task 1, what makes or breaks you is how clearly you explain what's going on in that graph or chart.
Yeah.
I've seen people use fancy vocabulary,
Right.
but if they're not accurately conveying the trends, well, that's where things fall apart.
So it's more about clarity than showing off your thesaurus.
Exactly. You have to be precise and make sure your explanations are easy to follow.
Okay.
For example, when you're describing a trend in a graph, use clear comparative language. Things like sales increased more rapidly than, or profits remained relatively stable.
That makes sense.
Yeah.
It's like you're painting a picture with words and guiding the reader.
Exactly. And that applies to explaining processes, which you might see in task 1.
Okay.
Guide the reader with clear sequential language. Words like firstly, subsequently, finally. Those are your best friends.
Speaking of friends, when it comes to the general training task 1 letter writing, there's another layer, right? Formal versus informal tone.
Absolutely. Knowing your audience is key.
Yeah.
If you're writing to a potential employer, it's obviously going to be a much more formal tone than to a friend.
Right.
I always tell people to pay attention to the prompt.
Yeah.
It usually gives clues about the formality.
Okay, so no, hey dude, in a job application.
Right.
But is there ever a time when a more casual tone might be appropriate, even in a professional setting?
That's a great question. It really depends on the company culture and the situation.
Right.
But I'd say erring on the side of formality is usually safest, at least initially.
Makes sense. Now let's shift to task 2, the world of essay writing.
Okay.
Looking at these essay types, opinion, discussion, problem, solution, is there a common thread in how to approach them strategically?
There is, and it's something I can't emphasize enough.
Hmm.
Planning. Before you even start writing, take a few minutes to brainstorm and create a basic outline. Trust me, this will save you so much time and frustration.
So don't just dive in head first.
Right. It's like trying to build a house without a blueprint.
Yeah.
You might end up with something wonky that doesn't make sense.
A Leaning Tower of Pisa essay.
Exactly.
Okay, I'm sold on planning.
Good.
Now I'm noticing this emphasis on formal writing style for task 2 essays.
Right?
Does that mean I have to break out the thesaurus and channel Shakespeare?
Not necessarily Shakespeare, but you do want to maintain a sophisticated and academic tone.
Right.
Think of it like writing for a professor.
Okay,
Clear, concise, and well-structured.
got it. No slang, contractions, or emojis.
Right. You want to demonstrate your grasp of formal English vocabulary and grammar.
Okay.
Using a variety of sentence structures and avoiding repetition are also important.
So showcase your linguistic toolbox, but keep it classy. Speaking of showcasing, how important is it to vary my vocabulary in the IELTS writing section? Like, do I need to use a different word for important in every sentence?
While using a variety of vocabulary is beneficial, it's more about using words appropriately and accurately.
So quality over quantity.
Yes.
And of course, there's the pressure of time management.
Right.
Any tips for making sure I don't run out of minutes before I finish?
Time management is crucial in the IELTS, especially in the writing section.
Yeah.
I recommend spending about 20 minutes on task 1 and 40 minutes on task 2.
Okay.
This allows you enough time to plan, write, and proofread both tasks.
So it's a sprint and a marathon all in one.
You could say that.
I'm getting nervous just thinking about it.
Don't worry, it sounds more intimidating than it is.
Okay.
With practice, you can definitely master writing well under pressure.
Okay, that's reassuring.
Yeah.
And speaking of practice, I'm seeing a section in our sources about common mistakes to avoid.
Oh, yeah.
Let's dive into those.
Let's do it. First up, one of the biggest mistakes is not meeting the minimum word count.
Okay.
You'll lose marks if you don't write enough.
Ouch. That's like showing up for a marathon and only running half.
Exactly. And just as important as writing enough is staying on topic.
Right.
It's easy to get carried away.
Yeah.
Make sure you're directly addressing all aspects of the prompt.
No squirrel moments allowed.
Right.
Stay focused.
Exactly.
Now, this next mistake, I think we've all been guilty of.
Oh, yeah.
Trying to sound super smart and ending up with convoluted sentences.
Yes. The classic overcomplication trap.
Yes.
We try to impress the examiner and end up confusing them.
Exactly.
Remember, clarity trumps complexity.
Simple is beautiful, simple is elegant.
Exactly. Now, for the final and arguably most important mistake, neglecting proofreading.
Proofreading, the bane of my existence.
Yeah.
But I know it's important.
It's essential. Even small errors can affect your score.
Right.
Always leave a few minutes at the end to carefully read through your work.
So it's like giving your writing a final polish.
Exactly. Now that we've covered some common mistakes, let's talk about resources that can help you prepare.
Perfect. I see some familiar names here. Cambridge IELTS, British Council.
Oh, yeah, those are good.
What are your go-to resources for IELTS writing prep?
I'm a big fan of the official Cambridge IELTS books.
Okay.
They provide authentic practice tests and give you valuable insights into the exam format and criteria.
Okay.
It's like having a sneak peek into the examiner's brain.
I love that. I also like the British Council's IELTS website.
Yeah.
They have tons of sample essays and model answers, which can be super helpful for understanding what a high-scoring response looks like.
Yes, those model answers are great for getting a feel for the style and level of detail.
All right, so we've got our official guides and some online resources to help us practice.
That's a great start.
I'm feeling more confident already.
Good.
But before we wrap up this part of our deep dive, is there anything else our listeners should keep in mind as they embark on their IELTS writing journey?
One final thought. Remember that while the IELTS is important, it's not everything.
Right.
Your worth and potential are not defined by a single exam score.
Yeah.
So try to approach it with a sense of calm and focus and know that you've got this.
That's such a great reminder. Thanks for sharing that.
Of course. Happy to help.
Yeah.